Hey everybody, welcome back to Bet the Ponies with the Homies. I'm Robert.
And I'm Ken.
Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 3.
Yes, sir.
Hey Kenny? Kenny, where are we going today?
We're going to Tampa Bay.
Sam Davis. Do you know who Sam Davis is?
No, I sure don't.
I don't either. He must be a horse. He must be a Sam Davis horse. He must be related to a horse I know called Sam who? You know Sam who?
Who?
In Del Mar. Sam who? From Del Mar. Yeah, he used to run with a horse called something Pete. Remember something Pete? No, you don't remember those horses? I bet you had a good memory. Okay. Don't remember Pete's
No,
horse?
I don't remember that one. It'll come to me.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I just threw that out there. All right, so we're at the Sam Davis. Kenny, we're kind of early in the process. I didn't see the racing form yet. I got the information off Horse Race Nation, so thank you to Horse Race Nation for throwing their possible list up. They came up with a list of 10 horses that were scheduled to run in this race. And let's get started.
Let's get started.
All right. Well, I got the first horses being Poster. Poster ran 2 races on turf, won both of them, came to Aqueduct in a mile and an eighth, $250,000 grade 3. What race was that? The Remsen, yes. And won the race with Pratt on. What do you think about him?
Well, he's going to be a player. He's 3 for 3. He's undefeated.
Yeah,
and that's a Godolphin stabled horse, and they're going to start bringing the horses up now for the Derby.
Yeah, he looked like a push button horse. He just came around and dominated in the stretch and went down the stretch. Then we got to Owen Almighty. Owen Almighty ran in the Pasco at Tampa. It was Tampa Bay's 7 furlong race, $150,000 stakes race, and he was in a speed duel with another horse in this race called Naughty Rascal.
Right.
He outran Naughty Rascal down the stretch, but he got inquired, and he shows up 5th on the past performances, but they robbed him, you think?
I believe they robbed him. They said the horse pulled up and checked behind him, but there was just no room for that horse to go.
Yeah, let's be clear. He did pull up, but did he need to? I don't know. He tried to get into a hole maybe he wasn't supposed to go through. So anyway, that gives us back to Naughty Rascal. Oh, by the way, Owen Almighty was 1-2 in that race. Naughty Rascal, I think he was 7-1, 11-1, something like that. He wasn't the favorite. He actually did run a good race coming down the stretch. He didn't get disgraced. They just ran 1-2.
They just dueled down the stretch.
Yeah. So didn't they lose to David Athens?
Yes.
Yes, David Athens. It was like a 7-1 horse came flying at the end, just dominated him real quick, but. Anyway, so that leads us to the 4th horse that we got, which is, who do we got as the 4th horse, by the way?
The 4th horse is Dr. Reuben M.
Reuben M. I think he originated in Santa Anita. I can't say that.
The trainer is Doug O'Neill.
Yeah, okay, so he's Doug O'Neill. Oh, so this is Edwin Maldonado horse?
Yes.
Coming from Cali to ride him. Dr. Reuben ran in, what did he last run in, Kenny?
He ran against Speed King.
Speed King, and there was another horse in that race.
Cold Battle.
Cold Battle. Yeah, Cold Battle came and crushed and came and ran him down. That's right. Do we know what race that was? That was a Gulfstream race? Or
yes, it was. There was what was that? The Springbird?
The Springboard. That was a Remington race. Yeah, the Remington. Yeah. So that was the. They ran in the Springboard Remington Mile. That was a $300,000 race, and that 2 other horses came out of that race that are pretty prominent in the Kentucky Derby races, and that is Cold Battle
and Speed King.
Speed King, yeah, and Speed King, well, we know what Speed King is all about.
Took them wire to wire.
And Cold Battle, he came and got Speed King, so that was a mile race. So there's been some horses coming out of that race. So let's move on to the next horse, which is Treaty of Rome. Treaty of Rome. Now, Treaty of Rome, I have to look at my notes here. Treaty of Rome came out of the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. Is that how you say Mucho Macho Man Stakes?
Mucho Macho Man.
Mucho Macho Man. Wasn't he a wrestler?
Macho Man.
Macho Man. Okay, well, anyway, it's a $165,000 stakes race. That was also a mile race, and that was at Gulfstream Park. He ran with Guns Loaded in that race. Guns Loaded ended up 7th in that race. How did he do? Do you remember, Dr. Rubin?
Dr. Rubin, I believe he ran 4th.
Yeah. I think he was kind of speed on the outside, and they were coming around the stretch, and he just kind of, I don't want to say flattened up, but maybe hung, I guess I could kind of say. And then, who came through in that race? Guns Loaded got 7th. Who ended up winning that race? You remember? I don't remember who ended up winning that race. Well, anyway, I'll skip off that. Well, Treaty of Rome's is also off the Chad Brown's barn. How's Chad Brown's doing? Is he getting any horses around here?
This is the first one I've seen of Chad Brown.
Yeah, well, anyway, I remember in this one right here. Oh, I remember this race. All right, so the next horse we got on the list is Treaty of Rome. Treaty of Rome is from Chad Brown barn. Now, Treaty of Rome ran with Guns Loaded. Guns Loaded ran last week in the Holy Bull, got 7th. But in this race, Guns Loaded won. But I remember watching the replay, and the announcer was letting Guns Loaded needs the, what did he say?
Needs the wire.
Needs the wire, because Treaty of Rome was coming and just missed off the wire. So that was Treaty of Rome. Yeah, he was 11-1 in that race, the Mucho Macho Man. So anyway, let's move on to number Very Bold. Very Bold got 3rd. No, he actually got 2nd in the Pasco.
Due to disqualification.
Yeah, so he was actually 3rd, and he didn't look like he was threatening anybody. He just got lucked into the 2nd place purse. I'm not impressed of his resume or his race.
Neither am I.
All right, the next horse we got on this is Camp Hill. Kenny, you know a lot about Camp Hill. What do you got going? What was his what's his resume look like?
Well, Camp Hill is still a maiden race. Still a maiden horse.
Right, he's still a maiden, but he had 3 maiden races, and they were pretty nice. The first maiden race, he ran against a horse called, I think it was Patchy Adams.
Patch Adams.
Beat Patchy Adams, if I remember.
Yes, right. And Patch Adams is like, I believe, 1-2 or something.
3 to 5.
Like that.
I think it was 3 to 5. 3 to 5, 4 to 5, something like that. Yeah. And Patchy Adams didn't run a bad race. He was stuck on the rail. Got some experience, but he kind of ran by him. But there was a horse that beat them both. But he got 2nd. Yeah, Brad Cox had a horse in there, and so he had the better run down the stretch, Patchy Adams, but he was like 11-1 too, or something like that.
Yes.
In his 2nd race, it was another 6 furlong race. He ran against a horse called Guns Loaded.
Yes, and Guns Loaded just ran last week. Was one of the favorites in the race last week.
Yeah, speed got to him, and he ended up 7th in the Holy Bull. But he won the day that he ran against Camp Hill. But Camp Hill gave him a run.
Down the stretch, yes he did.
Down the stretch, but he wasn't going to beat Guns Loaded, but he did break out the pack to come try to get him. And in his last race, Camp Hill's last race, he tried to run a mile race.
Right.
And he
had some traffic problems.
He had some traffic problems. Who did he run against? Do you remember who he ran against?
I believe the horse is what was his name?
I know First Act was in the race. But it was a 1-turn mile anyway at Gulfstream.
Yes.
So anyway, how did he do that race? He got 3rd, I think it was.
I believe, yes.
So we'll see how he can do it. That was his first time going around 2 turns. No, it wasn't even 2 turns, right? It was only 1 turn.
1 turn.
Okay. So Camp Hill, a horse to watch. Now we go to the 8 horse, John Hancock. John Hancock had an impressive, they gave him a 94 buyer for it. Impressive first time out win.
Yeah, he ran a 109, I believe. 109 or 104, first time out, wire to wire.
Didn't break out front, but then took the lead real quick, and then just kept going.
Kept going.
And just kept going. He was in hand coming down the stretch lately. Jockey was just kind of just sitting on him. Looked like the horse was kind of relaxed. Looks like he could have kept going.
Yes, I like this horse very, very much.
Yeah, he's going to need to improve into this 2-turn race. So you think he can do it, huh?
I believe he can do it.
All right. So number 9. Do you remember what horse number 9 was?
Number 9 is Gateskeeper.
Oh, yeah, Gateskeeper. You know, he's still a maiden as well, right, Kenny?
Yeah, he's still a maiden.
He had also 3 races, but they were all kind of unimpressive. It kind of reminded me of Ferocious and Gaming. You know, he runs in spurts of the race and kind of stops and goes, and then really doesn't do anything when it comes to the stretch.
He's still learning.
Still learning the game. And then we run into number 10, Smokin' Boy. This horse is coming from Camarillo Track.
Is this the horse that you sent the video to me about?
From the great island of Puerto Rico. This horse is the second coming of Karazi. Kenny, let me show you the video. All right, Kenny, that was impressive. That wasn't an Arazi. That was an Arazi move. So let's see if he can transfer that to Tampa Bay. I think he can. It's not like he's going to Gulfstream. It's not like he's going to Keeneland. It's not like he's going to Churchill Downs. He's going to Tampa Bay. Okay, so what do you think about it?
Well, this is the only chance you're going to get him at a good price. If he comes through like he's ran before, he's going to be one of the favorites.
It's over. So anyway, you heard it here first. So that's the field. Kenny? Yep.
It's about that time.
It's that time. All right, here's a 7, 7, 7, 9, 3, 11 play.
Yes,
do you have one for the day?
I have one for today.
I have one as well.
I have one
Kenny,
for today.
Let's do yours first. Who are you going to put on top on your who are you going to put on your superfecta play for $9?
John Hancock.
John Hancock. And then who would be your exacta horses?
It's going to be Posted.
Poster.
And Camp
Hell.
And Smoky Boy.
Smokin' Boy. Yes, that's his exacta horses. And Kenny, of course, you would probably put this horse not just first. You might do first, second, and third to cover yourself.
Oh, yes.
But anyway, so we move on to your other 4 horses you're going to add in the 3rd and 4th place positions of the superfecta. Who are your 4 horses?
We already have the 1 is Posted.
Right.
We have the 2, Owen Almighty.
That's Owen Almighty.
We have the 3,
Naughty Rascals.
And then we have the 4,
Dr. Reuben.
And then we have the 5.
The 5 is Treaty of Rome.
Yes, and then we have the 7.
And then that's the Camp Hell.
And then we have the 10.
Smokin' Boy.
And that's my 7, 7, 9, 3, 11.
So those horses are for 3rd and 4th. Go get them. Take the 8. John Hancock. Who's he by, Kenny? Who's his trainer?
Brad Cox.
Brad Cox. John
Hancock.
Hancock.
It's going to be a showdown in the Derby. Brad Cox against Bob Baffert.
Oh, stables against stables.
3 and 3.
All right. Well, Kenny, I got a superfecta play too.
What's yours?
Mine's going to be the Arazi horse, Smokin' Boy, on top. Put him on top. He's going to come get him. Who's he going to come get, you may ask? Yes. Well, the first horse I think he's going to make his move is Camp Hell. He's going to be at the top of the stretch, taking the boys down the stretch, but then he's going to get, Treaty of Rome is coming. So I got Treaty of Rome, I got Camp Hell, and Poster making his move down the stretch. I think a Arazi horse, Smokin' Boy, come get them all. So I got Smokin' Boy over those 3 horses. My next 4 horses are going to be Dr. Reuben, Owen Almighty,
2,
Naughty Rascals,
3, the 4,
that's Dr. Reuben.
The 5.
Who's that horse?
The 5 is
Treaty of Rome.
Treaty of Rome. Then you have the 7.
Camp Hell.
And you have the 8.
Oh, your horse. John Hancock.
There it is.
So there you go. Go play it. That's Smokin' Boy on top of Poster, on top of Camp Hell, on top of Treaty of Rome, on top of...
Yeah, that one.
It's on the board. There you go. Let's go get him.
Get it.
All right, let's get him. Kenny, do you have any last words for this race?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
How about this weekend? We didn't do any other car. You got any last words for the weekend before
Oh
we
no,
get out
I'm
of
just
there?
waiting for the derbies to get started next week. We're gonna do our top 5, each of our top 5 derby pretenders, and then we'll go from there.
Kenny, I got a surprise. If you have our newsletter, then this is no surprise to you. We're going to be at Santa Anita this Saturday. It's scavenger hunt time. Look for BTPWTH.
There it is.
When you see one of those guys, say, hey, I want to do the scavenger hunt. If you're the first one, you're going to get the scavenger hunt. That's the 5th race at the paddock. If we don't see you, I'm going to give it to Kenny. So I'm going to let Kenny do the scavenger hunt. Kenny,
Let's do it.
They better, Gator and Money Mike, they better hope they come. Otherwise, you're going to have a free $100 scavenger hunt because someone might not even show up. But if it's you, just say, hey, I want to be in that scavenger hunt. And let's go from there.
That's right.
You got it. Peace.
Peace.
Aiming out.
Better be careful out there.
All right, everybody. Oh, yeah.